All right, and Kelby and Peter and Pablo are going to lead us in song as we open up with our opening tune by Billy Preston, My Soul is a Witness.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's good already. Okay, here we go. Say, my soul is a witness. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Say, my soul is a witness. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Forms of love will always do. It will always see you through. Of this, my soul is a witness. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. You know, my song is a testimony. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. You know, my song is a testimony. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. For someone who needs to hear God's love is always near. Well, my song is a testimony. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Is an example, yes it is, oh yeah, you know my life is an example, yes it is, oh yeah, for someone who needs to see that God's love will always be, you know my life is an example, yes it is, yes it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. Yes, it is. 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 Yes, it is.
Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse on electric bass, and Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums. The BTC Community Gospel Choir in the seats. Woo! All right, sit on down. Oh, that is one of my favorite openings so far, guys. Thank you. Oh, how did that feel? Huh? Yeah? Woo! All right, so welcome everyone to another Elevate Wednesday at the Victoria Truth Center, whether you are here in person or joining us online. Before I go any further, is there anyone here for the first time on a Wednesday? Yes, welcome. And Heather, this is your first time on a Wednesday? I feel like I've seen you here so many times already. Okay, so welcome Vince, welcome Anna, welcome Heather, who's been here to some other things. Let's let them know how delighted we are that they are joining us here tonight for Elevate. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so glad you're here. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. All right, and so let us remember why it is that we're gathering. I mean, to do what we just did, which was to just really enjoy life, to connect with each other, and to this incredible, amazing, energetic flow that is moving and grooving its way in through and as everyone and everything, sometimes in the form of music, sometimes in the form of community, sometimes in the form of each and every one of us. And we come here to remember that this is the only thing that is going on. And whether it looks and feels like music, whether it looks and feels like community, whether it looks and feels like Vince, who has come here for the first time today, whether it looks and feels like this incredible, amazing graphic on this screen, whether it is the tree outside, the twinkling stars in the sky, the thoughts that are coming out of our heads, the words coming out of our mouths, whatever it looks and feels like, there is only this one incredible, amazing, divine, dynamic, energetic flow that is happening, that is in and at play ever. And we're here to remind ourselves and to remember that because there is only this one thing going on, call it whatever you want to call it. Call it energy, call it creativity, call it love, call it God, call it nature, call it the quantum field, call it whatever works for you, but it's the thing that we are trying to embody and embrace more fully, to feel it like we just did as we were standing and moving and clapping and singing and connecting with each other. This is what we're endeavoring to do, to remind ourselves, to remind each other that we are that thing, that it's not something that is outside of us. It's not something that we have to look for, that we have to travel to, that we have to discover. It's who and what we are. And so we're reminding ourselves that we are this incredible thing, and not just a little of it, and not just sometimes, but all of it all the time. And that we are the ones who are in charge of how much of that allness, how much of that vitality, how much of that creativity we get to experience every moment of every day. So we're here to live life more intentionally, right? And because this month is all about consciousness, we are here to choose to live life more consciously. So as we expand our mind, as we open our heart, as we further activate our soul, how does that sound on a Wednesday night? Yeah, okay. So let us also remember where it is that we are doing this expanding, opening, and activating, and remembering that we are on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And if we take a look at some of the values that these peoples hold dear, forgiveness, love, respect, honesty, and courage, these are values that we could all embrace more fully, more intentionally, more purposefully. For those of you who were here for the meditation, really, really, really tuning in to this incredible, amazing collection of spiritual and natural laws that are in play all the time, to align with them more harmoniously. And as we do, then we lean into values like this. And as we do that, what do? We further activate that incredible, amazing, essential love, that energy, that creativity, the God stuff that we are. So grateful to be able to live and breathe and work and play and co-create together now on these beautifully stewarded lands together. Haishka. All right, gentlemen, time for some reflective music. And for those who are here for the first time, we're going to move into an opening blessing right after this. So if you feel like showing your appreciation for the band, I invite you to pause and just let us bask in the magic and the expansion that is about to be created and offered. Okay? Thank you. Reveling in the space of resonance, the space of vibration, the spaciousness of right here, right now. And so allowing what lingers of those melodies and harmonies and playfulness to weave and wind its way in through and as every single fiber of our being. I'm so grateful to know that that music, those melodies, those harmonies, all of that energy is alive and well and active in each and every one of us, individually, collectively, in our world. And so as this energy, as this playfulness, as this joy and love continues to be activated, I know that there is that in each and every individual present, whether in person or online, whether right now or at another time, that is opening up, and that is surrendering to the playfulness and the joy and the love that is inherent in our nature, that is who and what we truly are. And as we open up and as we surrender to this incredible, amazing lightness of being, that there is only more room, more spaciousness for more love, for more light, for more consciousness to express itself in, through, and as everyone and everything. So for all the love and joy and friendship that is present, knowing that there is always so much more, I'm so grateful to know that our time together today is founded and grounded in this love, in this joy, and in this friendship as we build community together. So for everything that is present and for everything that is on its way, I simply say thank you and yes, please, to it all, as together we affirm, and so it is. And so now, if you would like to express your gratitude to the band, please feel free. Thank you, gentlemen. That was so lovely. What was that song? What was that song? You know, that's it. I could hear it. I'm like, I don't know what the song is. Okay. All right. Okay, so moving right along. For those who haven't been here before, we have a monthly theme to anchor us in remembering who we are and moving forward more expansively and purposefully and intentionally in life. It also helps us to anchor some of the talks and the music. And for January, our theme is consciousness, and our affirmation to go with this theme is love is all there is, and consciousness is everything. So, now that we've had a couple of weeks to sort of lean into this and really open up to what this means, I would love to hear from one or two people as to what consciousness or the affirmation or even our theme for the year, which is here to thrive in 2025, is feeling like in the moment. So I'm going to hand the microphone to Liz because she's in the front row. No, you don't have to. I'm just giving it to you because I don't want to be near it because there's a weird sound thing that happens. But who has something to share? Keely? Are you? Keely, right there. Fantastic.
I don't really have anything for this specifically, but when we were meditating, I kept hearing this like mantra in my mind of what is darkness is power, what is power to me is love.
Mm.
And it just kept repeating over and over. And I feel that it's connected to this and everything else that you've been saying. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, can you repeat it one more time just so that everyone can
Yeah.
hear?
What is darkness is power. What is power to me is love.
All right. That sounds like something very profound to anchor yourself in. Actually, I'm going to let you pass it to the next person because then I don't have to walk back and forth.
Does anyone want to go?
I feel like Stephanie always has something to offer. All right, there you go.
Well, just because there's always something that is percolating every week. What came up for me today as I read that quote is appreciation. And I actually got really moved by the music tonight. Like I was almost in tears, like appreciating. And what I got was that because while you were playing, I was so conscious, like I was just so tuned in, and nothing else was present but that music. And it just created this like whole world of appreciation. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. To me, that is like, that is a practice of consciousness to me, appreciating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the more you appreciate, the more it appreciates, right? Which is super cool. So being present to that appreciation can totally get how it would just like expand in the incredible spacious now moment. So thank you. One more share. Pat Alfke's got something.
I am so very blessed, no matter what is coming up.
Amazing. Thank you. What a great perspective. All right, fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for some really wonderful shares. I invite you to continue leaning in and opening up to what consciousness feels and looks like and means for you from moment to moment. And if the affirmation is something that can help to anchor you a little more deeply into that, then please have at it. Love is all there is, and consciousness is everything. Time for the feature tune. And Kelby, I know you're going to let us know what it is. I could guess. Could have changed in the last hour. Did it?
It hasn't this time. So when we were talking about the theme for this month and the opportunity that we had for January, this song came up. And it's one that you probably know, because apparently it's quite a famous song, but was new to me. I love it. It's a beautiful tune, and for me, it spoke to the idea of consciousness in terms of when sometimes you just get your head kind of... Have you ever had that experience of driving up a mountainside and you're socked in with rain, and then you go through the clouds and you're still, or hiking or driving, and then you get up to above the clouds in the sun? So that kind of idea of consciousness is being able to expand beyond sometimes the daily oppression of atmosphere that we sometimes buy into, and being able to have a clear view or a clear day. So this is On a Clear Day. That's the one. Sing along. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You'll feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. On clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you'll feel part of, every mountain, sea and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. On a clear day, on a clear day, you can see forever and Thank you. Pablo Cardenas, Peter Dowse.
And Kelby MacNayr. Thank you, gentlemen. You can go on ahead and find a seat and take a break. Oh, you're going to play another one. You are going to play another one. Thank you. You could just keep playing and playing and playing. All right, on a clear day. It's nice. We heard that one on Sunday, too, but it sounded different because it was different musicians. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a quote, another one by Ernest Holmes, and there's a reason for this. In studying the order of man's evolution, it seems certain that it was necessary from the time that he was brought to a point of self-choice that he be left alone to discover his true nature. If man is endowed with the attribution of self-choice and free will, he must be allowed to make this great discovery for himself. And so last week and on Sunday, if you're kind of hopping back and forth from Celebrate to Elevate, what I mentioned was that traditionally in January, there are New Thought centers around the world, specifically centers for spiritual living, who go back to basics. And they take the Science of Mind, which is this big fat book by Ernest Holmes that has over 600 pages, but really it's the first 60 of the introduction that have the crux of the philosophy in here. And they go to that introduction and those first 60 pages, and each week they offer one of the little bits of the introduction. And so last week we talked about the thing itself. The thing, whatever you call it, whether it is God, spirit, source, universe, the quantum field, love, creativity, doesn't really matter, but there's this thing. There's this thing that exists. It's the essence, it's the foundation, it is the inception of everyone and everything. And so this week we're moving into the way it works, because there's this thing and we're all it, but how is it that we are this thing? And how is it that it experiences itself or fulfills itself or changes and morphs and transforms from just this potentiality to what's happening right here in this room? So who here has heard a story, I've seen it on Facebook a few times over the past several years, about spilling your coffee? You have a cup of coffee in your hand, you're walking around, you're on the subway or whatever, someone bumps into you and your coffee spills, on the sidewalk on yourself. Oh my God, right? Why did you spill your coffee? Anyone? Because someone bumped into you? No, you spilled your coffee because coffee is what you had in your cup. And so this is an interesting metaphor for life. And this is a great little story, great little anecdote to use in how the way it works, which is what this week's theme is. And the way it works is all about this particular aspect of consciousness, of God, of universal mind, of spirit, of source, whatever you want to call it. And this is the part that is the thing that is the filter. This is the area of mind where all of the thoughts, all of the beliefs, all of the memories of all time exist. So it's not like we can sort of like stop thinking something and it disappears. It just means that we're not focusing on that anymore. We're placing our attention on something else. And so this is also why we can feel like we've worked on stuff, we have read the books, we have taken the workshops, we have done the classes and the seminars, and we have our spiritual practice in place and whatever it is that we're doing, and still this again, it's because all of that exists in this incredible, amazing sea of subjectivity. And so our work is to get crystal clear on a clear day about who and what we are and what it is that we're focusing on in this sea of subjectivity, because whatever we impress through this sea, that ends up filtering through this incredible thing and then showing up in our life experience. And so with this coffee cup story, that's kind of like what happens, right? We have coffee in our cup, and so it's not like a milkshake is going to fall out if life or someone bumps into us, right? So we need to get clear on what it is that we're holding in our cup. So my talk title today is, What's in Your Cup? And so this is a cup of coffee, and I looked for so many pictures to find a really, really good picture. And what I had in mind was not what this ended up being. But what I really appreciate about this is there's still coffee in this cup, but you can see all the different patterns around this coffee cup and how what you have in your cup, and this is a metaphor for what is it that's going on in your subjective mind, how it impacts and affects everyone and everything around you. Okay? So your coffee is not just about you, your coffee spills over onto everyone and everything around you. And a lot of times we're not even aware of what it is that's spilling onto everyone and everything around us. So another quote by Ernest Holmes. Any of nature's forces must have existed always, but so far as man is concerned, they exist to be used only after he has discovered them and learned how to make use of them. All natural laws have always existed, but only when understood may they be used. And then I added the word consciously. Because the thing about this law is that it is always, always, always in action. It is always taking place. It is always at work, whether we're aware of it or not. And so it doesn't matter if we know about it or we don't. It doesn't matter if we're ignorant of it. It is always in and at play. So if we want to learn to work in harmony with this law, if we want to be in alignment, if we want to get clearer on what it is that we are demonstrating and manifesting because of all of this stuff that is happening in this sea of subjectivity and this automatic reflector of what we impress into it, then we need to know that this is what's happening. Because if we don't know that that's happening, if we aren't aware of it, then how can we change? Right? So I added the word consciously in there, which is I'm sure what he meant, but I'm like, that word's missing and it's really, really important. So what's in your cup? So are we aware? Are we aware of what it is that we have in our cup, our mug, whatever our vessel is? Are we aware, or are we just drinking it and spilling it out onto everyone and everything around us without really noticing or knowing how this stuff in our cup is impacting everyone? What kind of thoughts are we thinking? What kind of beliefs are we entertaining? What kind of choices are we making? What are the action steps that we're taking? Because when stuff happens, when someone says something, when someone does something, when the weather happens, when an accident happens, when the California fires are burning and decimating everything in their path, what is it that is in our cup that is spilling out into the world? Because it's not the external stuff that is making things happen, it's the stuff in our cup that is creating our life experience. And so we got to get clear on what's in our cup. On Saturday, I'm looking around the room, and I don't think anyone was here. Who was here on Saturday for the very first Four Agreements book study session? Nobody. I know some people here signed up. Anyway, there are 4 more Saturdays left. Glenn Sheridan over there, my husband, my beloved, and our tech and sound guy for Celebrate and Elevate, he is facilitating this incredible, amazing book study. And the first session was fantastic. There were 17 people here. Some people had read the book, some hadn't. And there was this amazing discussion on the first chapter, a little bit of the first chapter, and it was all about the word. Because the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. So the conversation was around, what is the word? What is your word? And Don Miguel Ruiz writes about what the word is, but it was really interesting to have this discussion because there were different aspects of the word that came up. There was the individual word, there was the universal word, there was words as language, and then there was word as consciousness, as knowingness, as intention, as affirmative prayer. There were lots of different things that were offered. And so what was really neat is people, through this discussion, were getting really clear on what the word is. And so in spiritual mind treatment, which is the form of affirmative prayer that we practice when we study the science of mind philosophy, at the very end, we say, I release my word as law. Not into the law, saying that there's something separate, but as law. The one and only law that makes things happen, that reflects whatever it is that we impress through it, that shows up as our life experience. And our word is our intention. Our word is our affirmation. Our word is consciousness expressing itself into this incredible, amazing demonstration and manifestation that is our life experience. And so we want to get impeccable with our word. We want to get crystal clear. We want there to be no confusion whatsoever. That's what impeccability is all about. And we want to be impeccable with what it is that we have in our cup. So in the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz writes, the word is a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events of your life. Okay? This is totally in line with New Thought. We create our reality. Nobody else. No one is living our life for us. No one is making choices for us. Sometimes it may feel like maybe we don't have a choice, but there is always, always, always something that we are choosing at any given moment, whether we're aware of it or we're not. Okay? Personal responsibility. That's one of the key things about New Thought. He also writes, the human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed, a thought, and it grows. The only problem is that too often it is fertile for the seeds of fear. Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seeds it is prepared for. So this speaks to the consciousness as in small c, like awareness. Okay, are you aware of the seeds that you're planting? Are you aware of the seeds that are germinating in your sea of subjectivity? Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seeds it is prepared for. What is important is to see which kinds of seeds our mind is fertile for and to prepare it to receive the seeds of love. So again, we want to get super clear on what it is we have in our cup. Because if and when it spills out into the world, and it does, because we do not live in a vacuum, we do not live in an island, and well, we do live on an island, but even though we are creating our life experience, we are not alone in this experience. We are all creating, and then we all have these agreements and these collective experiences that we share. And so we want to be aware of what it is that we have in our cup, what it is that we're focusing on in the sea of subjectivity, how this law is working for us. You know, is it life affirming or is it keeping us feeling small? Because it doesn't discern. It doesn't go, hey, you know what? I think you should change your mind about these ideas and these dreams that you have because I think there's something better for you. It just automatically reflects whatever it is that goes into it. So if that automatic reflection that is like purely mechanical, if we want that to work for us, A, we got to be aware that this is what's happening, and then B, we want to put something so good, so amazing, so life-affirming in there that there's no way that anything different could show up as our life experience. That's how clear we need to be. So personal responsibility is about knowing and being impeccable with what is in your cup. It is about consciously choosing to fill it with things that support you in living your best life for yourself and those around you and our world, right? It's about the intangible stuff, the stuff that you can't see, like thoughts, feelings, beliefs, choices, even actions. And it's about the tangible stuff, the people, the relationships, the communities that we surround ourselves and immerse ourselves in. So if we go back to our affirmation for the month, love is all there is, consciousness is everything. If at any time we find ourselves confused, if at any time we find ourselves floundering, if at any time we find ourselves in some kind of negative state, where life isn't working the way that we would prefer, and then we find ourselves in fear or anger or isolation or whatever it is, we can turn to that kind of affirmation. Love is all there is. Consciousness is everything. And just fill our cup with that again and again and again and again until the only thing that can show up in our life is more love, is more amazing awesomeness, because that's who and what we truly are. That is our inherent nature. So the more impeccable you are with your word, the more conscious you are of what's in your cup, and the more aware you are of what you are spilling out into the world, right? So my question to you is, what's in your cup? Is it something that you want to spill out into the world? And if not, then guess what? Every single moment is a brand spanking new opportunity to choose something new, to choose something different, to heal, to grow, to expand, to connect more fully with and as who and what you are, who and what everyone and everything is, that one incredible, amazing thing that is going on, the essence, the foundation, the beingness of everyone and everything. Thank you, and so it is. All right, it is time for conscious conversation. So I invite you to gather into small groups of 4 and just have a little chat about what it is that's coming up for you. And when the time is done to come back, I will ding the meditation bowl. Okay, all right, come on back, everyone. Come on back. And now is an opportunity to let's ask, how is everyone feeling? Who's feeling uplifted? Who's feeling inspired? Who's feeling better right now than they did when they came in? Okay? All right. So this is what it's all about. This is what building community is about together. This is what the Victoria Truth Center is together. The Victoria Truth Center is a building. The Victoria Truth Center is also this incredible, amazing feeling, this knowingness, this beingness that we all have within each and every one of us, that we are amplifying every time we get together, right? So this incredible feeling, this dynamism, it is never ending. It is ever abundant. It is eternal, so there's no beginning, there's no end. You can never run out of it. So now is an opportunity to be generous with that spirit, okay? So however you want to share your generosity of spirit, there's a bunch of different ways that you can actually share financially. There's a silver bowl on the back table. There are these beautiful envelopes that you can put some stuff in. Make sure to write your name and stuff on there so you can get an income tax receipt. There is a credit card machine over there. There is a donation button on the website. So many ways to be generous of spirit and to ensure that we can continue building community together. However you give, I invite you to put your hands on your heart. Receive a deep life-affirming breath and enthusiastically let us declare this abundance blessing together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By embracing generosity with enthusiasm and delight, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze for a moment, whatever it is that feels good, and just allow that appreciation and love and gratitude to build, to grow, to expand, to amplify, to move out into the world, to appreciate even more. And so as we anchor ourselves in this appreciation, in this generosity of spirit that can never, ever, ever, ever run out, that is always available, I am so grateful to know that right here, right now, this is what community is all about. This is what love is all about. This is what friendship and intention is all about. So as we continue opening up to the infinite possibilities of who and what we can become, what VTC is becoming, I am so grateful for each and every individual present and everyone that is on their way. So for all the love that is present, for all the generosity that is yet to come, I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you for it all, and so it is. All right, just a few announcements. There is actually a couple of spots left for the 90 Transformational Breathwork on Saturday because we've opened up a few more spots. So if you want to come, it is happening every third Saturday of the month, so right here at VTC. I know that there are some people here who are coming. The 4 Agreements Book Study Group, we already had our first one, 4 more. Every Saturday from 3 to 4:30 right here, being facilitated by Glenn in the back over there. 17 people on Saturday getting together to talk about how to take more personal responsibility in our life. Every Sunday, celebrate from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here. And this is our roster of January events. If you want to know more about what's happening, there are some flyers on the wall over there. There are some flyers on the door. And the community stuff, like Authentic Relating, there are flyers in the foyer. For those of you who have been attending for some time, or maybe it's like your first or second time here, and you feel like super connected, you like coming here, you feel good, you feel uplifted, you feel better walking out that door than you did when you came in. If you feel like this is a cool place that you want to become more a part of, then we invite you to think about becoming a member. There are some membership forms on the back there, and we are having an annual general meeting on March 9th, and anyone who is a member gets a vote in things that are being decided, which means that you get it to actively participate in how this community is evolving, how it is growing, how it is expanding, what it is becoming. So we invite you to consider becoming a member if you're not already. I know a lot of people here are, because we're doing something extraordinary together, and I am so grateful for what is happening here at the Victoria Truth Center. If you or someone you know is in need of support, please let us know. You can email prayers@victoriatruthcenter.org anytime. There is a little box in the front of the silver bowl over there with some forms. You can fill it out, put that prayer request in the box, and our VTC prayer team will pray for you and yours affirmatively. Prayer works. People heal from dis-ease. People find jobs. People find homes. There are things that happen that you couldn't ever sort of, figure out how to do on your own, because we are all this one incredible, amazing consciousness, this love, this infinite potentiality. And when we focus our minds on the wholeness, the wellness, and the allness of the individual or the collective, stuff happens. If you aren't already on the newsletter, there's a sign-up sheet over there. Best way to stay in touch with what is happening and when at VTC. And does anybody in the community have something that they are involved in, that they are offering, that they would like to share with everybody else? Nope. All right, guess what? We're almost done. It's time for our last song. When You Believe by Eddie Watkins Jr., who I hear Peter Dowse is a fan of. All right, I'm going to invite everyone to stand on up. This is another rockin' tune. And feel free to sing along. Kelby's going to lead us in song.
All right, here we go. Anything is possible when you believe. You know that anything is possible when you believe. All right, everybody. Faith can make a mountain move when you believe. Faith can make a mountain move when you believe. When you believe, know that you can change a life when you believe in yourself, in yourself, in yourself, in yourself. Everything you want, you got when you believe. Everything you want, you got when you believe in yourself, in yourself, in yourself, in yourself. I believe in me. I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. No, no, no. I believe in me. I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. All right, let's bring it down. Let's get you all singing with us here. In yourself. What do we need to believe in? In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself.
Right on, thank you. The Elevate Trio, Pablo Cardenas on piano, Peter Dowse on electric bass, Kelby MacNayr, vocals and drums, VTC Community Choir in the seats. Thank you for joining us for another Elevate Wednesday at the Victoria Truth Center, in person and online. We love you, we appreciate you, we are so glad you're here. We will see you next week. All right, guys, take us out.